Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I have the pleasure to be with you in this episode of the Africa Today. Today we're focusing on the 15th BRICS Summit, which is taking place in Johannesburg in South Africa. The BRICS Club is one of large emerging economies which is seeking to assert its political and economic clout on the global stage. The BRICS nations of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, which represent a quarter of the global economy, are meeting for 3 days and interest in joining the group of this summit. Well, to shed more light, we have some reports. We start with our first report about that China's leader Xi Jinping told the BRICS group on Tuesday that China's economy was resilient and that the fundamentals for its long-term growth remained unchanged. We have more in the following report.
China's leader Xi Jinping told the BRICS group on Tuesday that China's economy was resilient and that the fundamentals for its long-term growth remained unchanged. Xi, who's in South Africa for the summit of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, the BRICS, made the remarks in a prepared statement read by Chinese Commerce Minister Wang Wentao at the Business Forum. Xi said through Wang that the Chinese economy has strong resilience, tremendous potential, and great vitality. The recovery in the world's second largest economy has lost steam due to a worsening property slump, weak consumer spending, and tumbling credit growth, adding to the case for authorities to release more policy stimulus. But Xi said his country enjoyed economic advantages including supersized market, a full-fledged industrial system, and an abundant high-caliber labor force. The U.S. on Tuesday criticized China for reducing the transparency of its reporting on basic economic data in recent months and for cracking down on firms in China that had been providing such data, calling its behavior irresponsible.
Well, welcome back. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Dr. Sayed Khouly, Professor of Economics. Good afternoon, sir.
Professor of Economics.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Khouly. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Doctor, we're focusing today in our episode about the 15th edition of the BRICS Summit taking place in Johannesburg in South Africa. So over 40 countries have expressed interest in joining the BRICS in joining this summit. Of them, nearly 24 have formally asked to be admitted. So how did you read this?
First of all, officially, Egypt really made the admission to BRICS summit, and already it's under review of the members of BRICS group, which include China, Russia, India, and South Africa and Brazil. This process, it will take some time in order to be approved for certain country. Among about 12 officially submitted to be a member of BRICS, among them is Egypt, and Egypt will have a very high chance to be a member of BRICS in a very near future.
Yes, so Cairo has requested also participation in the Bloc's Bank. So how would this step have a good impact on Egyptian economy?
A couple of years ago, already Egypt really became a member of New Development Bank and has been approved by the Senate in Egypt, and it's already in operation. And that is a very significant step for Egypt to be a member of BRICS group. And being able to really develop this kind of step, it is a very important step in order to be a member for BRICS group. It's already in operation. Egypt as a member, active member in new development bank.
Yes. So, Dr. Khouly, how would the rival world powers and economic blocs who responded to attend the BRICS meeting, how would this meet the world powers for their scheduled or planned economic for the future?
Of course, China, it's considered to be in the economical stage in terms of trade, in terms of growth. The ranking of China now, it is number one worldwide in terms of economical power. Also, India, it is a very, very, they're working very hard to be among the five big nations worldwide. Remember, this group, which consists of a country from Europe, which is Russia, two countries from Asia, India and China, and from Latin America and from South Africa.
Yes.
Of course, this is a powerful group, and which is really contribute to 1/3 of the growth of worldwide and 1/3 of the world trade. And also the population of these five nations considered to be almost half of the population of the whole world. I believe it's a very powerful group, and it will be a very good chance for Egypt to be a member, to be a significant in developing a new economical power for Egypt and the new economical sustainability in Egypt in the future if we became a member in this group.
Yes.
This group, it's really focused on connecting the roads and link the world, and considering Egypt as a member of this group, it will be the gateway to Africa, it will be the gateway to the Arab country, it will be the gateway to Europe at the same time.
Yes.
So the location of Egypt and being a member in BRICS, it will bring a lot of opportunity for Egyptian economy, and in turn, it will be a very beneficial for the Egyptian population in the near future.
Yes. So, Dr. Khouly, amid the global tensions, especially provoked by the war in Ukraine and the disputes and the change in the point of views, difference of point of views between the United States and China. How do you think of the emergency of strengthening this bloc?
In the last year, and we're going to the second year now, there is a lot of conflict between the superpower, which is dominating power in the world arena now, which is the United States, and join with the ally from European country with Group 7, and now it's Group 20, and they are willing to dominate the world economy. And being able to, for China to be ranked as number one economical power, of course, the political situation, there is a lot of tension between United States and Russia, for example, to reduce their growth rate, to reduce their trade ratio worldwide, and of course with China, with the nuclear power and so on. And of course, this kind of tension, it affected the world logistic system and the world supply chain. A lot of manufacturing really failed to produce their product and service because of this kind of tension. And of course, all of this side of the problem, which is the United States, European nation, Russia, and China, it should come to resolve their conflict, because the world, not only one country or another country, but the whole world is suffering from wheat supply, for example, and Africa, it is the most affected continent in the world from this kind of conflict between the superpower.
Yes. So, Dr. Khouly, analysts have said that the bloc has at times suffered a lot from internal divisions and the lack of coherent vision. So, why was that?
Of course, when you have your own agenda and being a member in a group, of course, everyone want to show and want to really support his or her agenda in the group. But remember, the end analysis in the summit, all different parties integrated and admitted, and they are present from last day, for example, in Johannesburg, in South Africa, except the Russian president, which is the issue of court order for criminal order and so on, court. And that is, even so, the president of China, President Putin, virtually attended the conference. And today, for example, we were expecting the Chinese leader to be attending the summit. He didn't show up, especially after he attended an official visit with the president of South Africa, but he's not really attending the process of our meeting of BRICS today. And of course, there is when you have a conflict, in terms of conflict, you can have a negative conflict or positive conflict. Positive conflict, which is negotiation and so on for each member party, and also going to support for admitting one country over another country. But I believe the division, what you are talking about, is very minimal, and it's not going to affect the sustainability and really the power of the BRICS in the near future.
Yes, so Dr. Khouly, how does the BRICS summit contribute to the global economic growth and development?
Of course, now it is really representing almost 1/3 of the world economy, and the prediction it is for this kind of growth, it will go up with the cooperation of all members of BRICS company. And of course, when they admit more and more countries to be members in BRICS group, and this, it will be a dominating power in the future. It will be eliminating the power of dollar as a mean for international business, and the exchange rate, it will be with the local currency, and this, it will bring a lot of countries in order to join the BRICS group. And this, it will benefit the new members who are going to be admitting to the BRICS group. And when we talk about that, we talk about Egypt as a case. In this case, it will bring a lot of advantage to Egypt. It will bring development of alternative of commercial and financial routes, and Egypt will benefit from that. Promoting economical recovery, we are suffering right now for high inflation, high interest rate, devaluation of our currency. It will help us in really maintaining our growth and also overcoming any economical crisis we're facing. And of course, we'll be able to minimize cost. As an example for that, Russia invested heavily in Egypt. They have a new Russian industrial zone in Port Said, for example, and this will bring a lot of opportunity for labor, and will be able to reduce the unemployment rate, and will be able to increase our growth in the near future. I believe Russia is supporting us, and also China is supporting us in order to be a member of this group. Also, it will benefit Egypt from developing e-commerce, and also market integration with all members of BRICS group. And now Egypt, as a member of new development bank, it will give them a strong opportunity to be a member in the very near future.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Syed Al-Khouly, Professor of Economics, thank you very much for joining us over the phone. The hunger has killed at least 500 children in war-torn Sudan. In NGO Save the Children reported on Tuesday that at least 498 children and probably hundreds more have died from starvation in 4 months of war in Sudan. So its director in Sudan alarms in the press release that the country where before the war 1 of the 3 inhabitants suffered from hunger, children are dying